Name. My name's Fran Mulkins, but my son, Drew Mulkins, he's been doing stand-up comedy for a while now, and many of the comics are very familiar with his stylings and a lot of his jokes. Well, anyway, do not think that you're going to hear jokes out of me. I don't tell jokes. I'm too old and too senile to remember a joke. So consequently, what you're going to hear from me are stories. Now, I heard Phoenix and I heard John being very proud of their marital problems, one being married 8 years, one being married 2 years. I want to tell you that that gentleman and I have been together in June 40 years. So let's hear it for Uncle Bob Mulkins and Drew's mom, 40 years, June 20th, 23rd. See, I told you that. Yeah, so anyway, you don't know me, but I've been teaching art. I taught art for 35 years, North Olmsted City Schools, and I loved it. I loved teaching the kids. I taught over 10,000 kids. Let's hear it for 10,000 kids. I go to the grocery store, and I'll see one of these older people, and they'll come up to me and say, "Do you remember me? I had you in art class when I was in 6th grade." Now this woman, or sometimes a man, has their grandchild in tow. And I says, "Oh sure, of course, I remember you." "Oh my God, I don't remember them." They said, "Well, I was one of the Bennies." "You were a Benny?" "Yeah, I was Penny Benny." You know, Kenny's sister, and Jenny, and Lenny. "Do you remember the Benny family?" And I says, "Oh yeah, I remember the Benny family. Jenny, Kenny, Lenny." And the last one was John. This is true. All the stories I tell you are absolutely true. And he wasn't like any of the other Bennies. And he said, "Mrs. Mulkins, why do you suppose they named me John?" I says, "I don't know, Johnny. You better ask your mom. He says, "Well, I wouldn't ask her anything. She wouldn't tell me the truth anyhow." I says, "Okay, that's fine." Well, when I was teaching near the end of my career, they always put you in a position where they hope you'll retire. Because the principal will come up to me and say, "Well, you know, Mrs. Mulkins, 2 for 1. 2 for 1. 2 for 1. I can get 2 teachers for what I'm paying you." "Oh, but I'm so worth it. I'm so excellent. I'm so wonderful." 2 for 1. So they had me teaching 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade art at this one school. 2nd day of school, why did you win, Mrs. Mulkins? He threw up. Thank you, Judy. Thank you for telling me that you noticed this. I'm so pleased. Now this little girl was one of these little girls that we all know about when we're in 2nd and 3rd grade. She will tell on you. She will tattle as fast as she can. "Mommy, look what Teddy did. Mommy! Mommy! Oh my God. So I knew I needed to get little green Joey out of the classroom. So meanwhile, I pull up my skirt a little bit to keep my modesty and to keep the throw up not from getting all over my carpeted, doesn't that make sense, carpeting an art room? My carpeted classroom. I said to the kids, "Now kids, you better be working because Judy is going to tell on you if you do anything wrong." She's going to tell. Their eyes widened their skin, even the African Americans' skin whitens a little bit and they get a little pale. And they say, oh yeah, we know she's gonna tell. Meanwhile, the little Arabic kid talks to his neighbor and says, what did she say? In Arabic, you know. Gonna tell, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. So Joey and I go to the office. There's my principal, who's a mixture of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And I want to emphasize Tweedledum. And he says, well, Mrs. Mulkins, I see you're out of your classroom. No, really? Oh, what seems to be the problem here? And I lean over just enough so that the vomit starts coming his way. Oh, I see. Well, who's watching your class? Judy. Oh, and he nods, he knows, well, fine, I think everything's under control. And I leave. This is an absolute true story. Now, when I came in here, Phoenix says to me, oh, you brought your laundry. I didn't bring my laundry. I brought my daughter and son-in-law's laundry. She calls me, that's my daughter right there. She calls me and she says, Ma, do you mind if I bring a couple of things over to wash? You know, I live in this apartment on the 9th floor. Now, what genius with 2 little kids, a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old, gets an apartment on the 9th floor? You know, with laundry. Her laundry baskets are the size of these tables, okay? And they fill up. Unbelievable. She wants to wash a few things. These are actual examples of her husband's wash. Now you can see they look normal. They look normal from the front. They look normal from the front. But in the back, are these holes. Now, what kind of farts is my son-in-law blowing that he makes these kind of holes in his underwear? Now, this isn't just one. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
You're being called out, man.
Number 2, I said to my husband, I'm going to have to buy him some underwear because I've taken his underwear to use for my act. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Then this isn't all. Then she says, well, don't forget to pack his good work shirt. I'm telling you, this is his good work shirt. This is the good work shirt. Unbelievable. How do you know whether it needs to be washed or not? How is there any clue? What kind of sweat is coming off this man's body? Then finally, she says, well, my dishwasher was broken and I had to wash a few things by hand. She had to wash them by hand.
You must have really scrubbed, Jeff.
Oh my God, you wouldn't even use this to wash your car. This isn't even a car cloth anymore.
Jessie,
oh my God.
Are you washing plutonium?
This is unbelievable. This is absolutely unbelievable. So I saved this stuff because I thought it might make you laugh. But this is my life. This is my sad life. I have these 2 kids. Oh, John says, I don't really know how I would explain sex to my children. I don't know how I would do that. Well, I want to let you know how you do that, okay? You go to the library and you say to the librarian, I think my daughter is maybe going to have her period soon. And the librarian knows exactly what you're talking about. She says, you want the SEX books, right? You want the SEX. She doesn't even say sex. She doesn't say that. You want the SEX for children? For children? Like there's an SEX for children, and then there's an SEX for, adolescents, and then there's an SEX. Well, that's called porno for adults. That's what it's called. It's called pornography. So I get these books. I had about 4 of them, and we sit in the living room. Her brother at the time, she was 9. Her brother was about 5. I don't ever know when Drew didn't know about SEX. Drew's always known about sex. He was always curious about it. But we're sitting there, we're looking at the pictures, and my daughter says, that goes where? That goes where? Not your ear.
Oh dear.
Probably, maybe, I don't know about your mouth. But, yes, darling, it goes, oh, no! Oh, no! Drew's 5-year-old. Well, that seems interesting. that seems like something I might want to do. And he said, well, Drew, you have to wait till you're a little bit older and probably a little bit bigger. That's my time. I'm Drew's mom.
Keep it going. That was a welcome treat. Keep it going for Drew's mom. That is the dirtiest ex-teacher I have ever heard in my life. I voted no on issue 2, and I don't know if I did the right thing now. I'm joking. All right, let's keep it